Hello, everybody, and welcome to the second episode of the UNA Percussion Podcast. I think that's the title that we're going to stick with for a while here until we think of something more clever. But my name's Caleb Tonini, and with me today again, as always, is going to be Jake House, Truman Clark, and Logan McCoy. Hello, boys.
Hello.
Hello.
So this week we're going to talk about a couple of things, mostly just about like what our summer plans are, some things that have been going on as the semester here comes to a close this week. So I guess let's just start with how has everybody's week been this past week?
This week has been it's finals week for us,
Mm-hmm.
or the start of finals week for us. And so now that we're all online, especially, a lot of professors just they didn't want to deal with doing it on the actual time. So just kind of threw the tests out there. And so I've been doing a lot of work this week, just trying to get all that together. Had to make a blog. That was fun. It was interesting.
That sounds nice. How's your week, Truman?
It was pretty good. I've just been finishing up these assignments that are due, and then I've been playing drum set a lot.
Sounds fun.
That's pretty much it.
How about you, Jake?
About the same as everyone else. I've been playing a Bowron a lot and transcribing stuff for that. So
Yeah.
pretty fun.
Bowron
I find a place
licks.
to live.
Bowron licks, man.
Yeah.
Yeah, my week's been pretty good. We'll talk about this later, but we had marching band auditions, percussion auditions this week. Those were due on Saturday, so that was a fun time. But yeah, I've just been trying to compose a lot. Got my black MIDI piece all finished and ready for the concert on Monday. So that's going to be...
That's this Monday? Like tomorrow?
Yeah, we're recording this on a Sunday, and it's tomorrow, Monday, what would tomorrow be? The 4th at 6:45 p.m.
Will it be live streamed on Facebook?
I think it's a Zoom thing.
Hmm.
I don't know exactly the medium at which it will be given out. Although I imagine Facebook Live would actually be smarter than a Zoom call, but I don't know. That's up to Mr. Riskerland how he wants to delegate getting that out there. So, yeah, it's been a good week. So I guess let's just talk about auditions. Logan, you did them. Truman did them, and I did them. Jake did not do them, as he is graduating. So he has completed his service in his mandatory time. So how did audition videos go for you, Truman Clark?
I mean, they went pretty smoothly for the most part, since I already knew most of the exercises. Like, what a bunch of these past few months, and especially since we've been in quarantine, has just been me learning the new parts.
Mm-hmm.
And I think it was about halfway. I just recorded the audition the entire way down.
Mm-hmm.
Just to see my videos because I like them. And then I don't remember when I filmed it. I filmed it over 2 days, my final audition, and I turned those videos in, and it went pretty smoothly, other than the occasional stick being thrown because I messed up a warm-up or something. You know how it goes.
Yeah. Oh man, I think my most recorded and redone video was 8/8/16, for the simple fact of it's the one thing that you can accept tiny little sound errors and other things, but when the video is just eights, if all however many notes it is don't sound the exact same, it's you're playing eights, man. Come on. So I probably recorded, deleted, and re-recorded eights maybe 25 times. It took a while just to really just get it in there, and I definitely thought that a couple of the other exercises would give me more trouble than that, but honestly, I thought my videos went kind of well. Wasn't really stressed about it that bad. It probably took me all in all about maybe 2.5, 3 hours to get runs that I was happy with on everything. So it's a good time. How did your videos go, Logan? Oh no, I think we lost Logan. Did we lose Logan?
Logan.
Oh no, we lost Logan. He's asleep. Uh-oh.
Frozen? Is he coming back?
Uh-oh.
No, it's back. We're back, baby.
Logan's back with no camera. How'd your videos go, Logan, if you're still here?
Is my camera not working still?
Oh, there it goes. You're back.
Now, there you
Okay.
are.
My videos. Yeah, they were interesting. It's kind of the same thing you guys are talking about. The hard part for me, especially with videos, and that's like a pretty common misconception. Like, you're not in front of a person, so you're going to have a lot easier time. No. Lies. Don't let anyone tell you that lie.
Mm-hmm.
Videos are the hardest things to do because you will be the most critical judge of yourself because you want to send out the best version of what you can do. Like, you're in an audition, you do it, you mess up, it's over at the very least. With a video, if you press that submit button, you are saying you are okay with submitting a bad video. So there's an exercise called 1 octave long where you go through all the keys. These are the majors. You do them as minor, natural minor, then melodic minor, then harmonic minor. Then you do the arpeggio. You do that for every single note on the keyboard. It's like 7 minutes long. It's, oh my lord. And it's really hard because I don't have an actual keyboard with me or anything. I just have a wooden marimba, not marimba, but like a little wooden marimba practice pad. So you don't, if you mess up, you can kind of try to fib it, but it doesn't work because all of a sudden your hands have no idea where they are. So it was stressful, but it crammed a lot of practice time in where I needed it. So that was actually kind of helpful in that sense.
So I'd say that you're probably one of the only people with a practice pad thing, right? There's probably very few people with that. How are high schoolers and stuff that are trying to do that? Do you know or?
Yeah. So if they have a keyboard, I know a few of them had at least a xylophone or something. I had a xylophone as well, but it's really beat up and it's a lot smaller than what I'm used to practicing on, so I just went with the board. But what he recommended was actually taking duct tape and cardboard, and it's kind of making a marimba target pad just like that. There's instructional videos online on how to do it. There's probably an article or two somewhere. But yeah, it's pretty neat.
Cool.
I think the main thing with me and videos is you can when you're in the moment and you're recording, it'll sound good to you, but then you go back and watch it, and for me personally, I'm very critical of the way things look because there's some times where you have to have a certain look for things. So I'll be watching my video and I'll be like, why is my elbow sticking out that far? Or why am I using that much arm on that roll? So then I go back and recalibrate it, but then I find something else. I think that's what takes the longest for me is just sometimes the look, because I'm just very critical over that on myself.
Yeah, it's all about kind of you can play something just fine when there's no camera and nobody there, and that's why people think it's so easy. Is because when something just clicks, and I think it's just something mentally that happens when a camera is turned on and it's on. It's it's the exact same thing as being in front of 30 people by yourself. I find it easier to play in the line in front of 100 people than to play by myself, recording myself with nobody else in the room. It's just easier for me to just play in a line in front of people than to play by myself with a camera. And I'm kind of Trim. If I see one thing and I'm man, why'd I do that? I'll go back and record it. And especially with quads, you have the space in between the pad where it's not the actual drum, it's the individual spaces. If I hit one of those, the video's gone. It doesn't matter if it's a 5-minute video and the first 4.5 minutes are perfect. If I hit one of the rims in the last 30 seconds, that video's scrapped. I can't use it. So it's just a lot of stuff like that goes on that makes that take a long time.
My first year at UNA, we had an exercise called Go. That was 15 to 20 minutes of a single exercise because it was designed to put all of your different techniques into one and then keep your brain engaged the entire time. So I was up in my high school's band room until probably 3 a.m. trying to record that video because you mess up at one part. Like, you could be at minute 14 on the very last section and you mess up. You have to redo the entire thing. Yeah, they're tough.
Yeah, I remember our Truman, Jake, and I's first year, Parapugadiddle. Like, we didn't do videos, but like just like I tried to learn that exercise to come into auditions, and I thought you had to mark time to it. And so, obviously nobody knows what that is, but Parapugadiddle was an exercise that was basically just like all kinds of paradiddles and puttidas just thrown in these patterns that went through all kinds of meters and different amount of 16th notes, and you can mark time to it, but it's extremely difficult, and I couldn't do it until like my second year. Like, it took me a long time to get to it, so I tried to learn it marking time, and it wasn't until I walked into the audition room and asked somebody, I was like, hey, just before we start, like, do we mark time to this? And they said no, and immediately my whole life changed. Like, it just, the whole exercise just became 100% easier. So,
I actually did learn to mark time to that exercise for the audition, and like, you know, I was like MIA for actually all of the summer up until band camp in 2017. So, like, I practiced marking time to it for the entire summer, and then like I came there, and all the snares were just like, yeah, you don't have to mark time to that. I was like,
it definitely made it easier.
Dang.
Yeah. It made the exercise easier, but man, we got to bring that one back. We got to bring Parapugadiddle back, in my opinion. So I guess since we're on the topic of summer, what are everybody's summer music plans? We'll start with you, Logan.
Right now, I'm still booked to teach. I have 3 teaching gigs right now. Those haven't changed so far. Ideally, they don't, but of course, we're trying to be fluid. One's with my school that I've been teaching for 5 years now. I'm going to last year with them, so trying to write a lot of music for them right now. Trying to write a bunch of exercises. Did their like a few little chop sessions here and there. Made a bunch of videos for them. So that's really it right now. My ceremony for my wedding got pushed back from this month. It was going to be this month, so we're putting it back in August now. So
yes.
I'm getting married a week before band camp now. So that'll be fun.
That's not no.
Yeah.
Oh
yeah.
Lord.
Do what you gotta do.
Man. Well, you're technically already married.
Yeah. We're just doing the ceremony.
Yeah.
Because I mean, we put money into it, so why not?
I was so sad whenever you told me that it wasn't gonna happen. I got so upset.
It hurt a little bit.
Yeah, of course. What about you, Truman? What you got going on this summer?
I mean, hopefully traveling. You know, a bunch of my travel plans got pushed back, like Logan's wedding, for example. I plan to just be playing drum set a lot. Just getting gooder at that. The word is better, my bad. Right now I'm teaching the same 2 schools that I did last summer for band camps. So there's that, and then working on and planning video assignments for the UNA snares. Just those sort of things.
I'm currently booked for one school, the same school I've taught at since forever ago, but I've just been trying to get a lot of writing done. I want to try and finish. I've been working on a duo collection for about a year now, and I'm trying to get that done probably, if not by the time school starts, like a month into school. I want to be done with that. It's just a collection of 15 pieces, and it's a lot. I think I'm on piece 10 or 9, so it's a good amount of stuff going on, but I hope that band camps can happen, because that's like my favorite part of the whole year is teaching band camps. It's a lot of fun. What about you, Jake?
I'm supposed to be teaching at Hazel Green this next fall, like all of fall, and we did auditions like over video, as like everything else has been, and right now they've went to the school and they've got their drums, so like whatever I told them they made for now, they worked out the band director worked out with the administrators at the high school that they went and got picked up their drums. So now they have their instruments at least
That's good.
for some of the summer. Yeah, that is good. And you know, everything's still kind of up in the air as it comes to like band camp and stuff. But I know a lot of the schools around here have announced that they want to for sure go back like on campus school if everything else prevails. So hopefully we'll get to have band camp in some shape or form of a band camp, whether that's like half people one day or half the other or whatever.
Yeah.
So I'm just be writing their music and doing like Facebook's assignments for them since we can't meet and whatnot, and playing some Balrog. That's about it.
It's probably the ones that like in our field, right? Like this whole COVID-19 thing is like really just like shutting it down. Like you almost can't do anything with like at the level that you need to do that, because you think like you try and get one section together to just practice. You're not technically supposed to because it's more than 10 people, you know. And it's just like it's really like putting a strain on the arts currently. So it's definitely I really hope that we're able to like do some things towards the end of the summer, but you know, we'll see what goes on there. So I guess we'll move on to our next topic here. And one thing that we wanted to talk about was kind of I guess we can go through our favorite guest artists that we've had over the past couple of years. Just because, man, everybody eventually, we talked about it last week, is going to come through here at some point and give a class of some kind. My personal favorite was I believe it was last year, was the Quay Percussion Duo. Man, that was probably one of the coolest concerts that I've ever seen, and I have my favorite playing technique of timpani of all time. And you take a crotale and you spin it like a dreidel on the timpani, and it creates the coolest sound ever. And I saw Gene Kaczynski, who is one of the two in Quay Duo, do that, and man, it really just changed. I don't know how he thought, let's take a crotale and spin it on a timpani and just see what happens, and then puts it into a piece. Blows my mind. Makes me insane. Don't understand it. What are some of you guys' favorite guest artists that we've had over here in the past couple of years?
Well, I have like two that I kind of like think about the most when I think of guest artists. I'd say Emily Tanner Patterson.
Yeah, that was a good one.
I really enjoy the insight she brings to the table, especially for our area, where she teaches compared to where we teach. Like there's just such a large gap in the way that we approach education of percussion, of music in general, and it's also very refreshing to hear that, because we're trying to get to that, right? We're trying to get to that next step. And so hearing the way she took those steps and the things she did in her program and with her administration to get there is very refreshing. It was nice to hear. And then of course Jason Truding. I mean, the man. He was such a genuine, just low down to earth kind of guy. Like him and Roger Carter have like the same vibe of this. They don't understand their like accolades. They don't understand just how golden they are to so many people. And they're so cool. They're so cool about it. Like I could probably text them and we would just like have a talk. I did email Jason, and he sent me a piece, and it's just like they're such cool guys. Jason, he actually he came and coached us for our quartet, and that was a very eye-opening experience as well, just to see how he not only approached playing the piece that he wrote, but the way he approached writing it, and like the things he thought about that weren't exactly inherently in the music. Because he gave us a lot of tips that helped us tremendously and like really produced and like created a good, unique sound for us that we probably never would have gotten there because it was all in his head from when he created it, which is really interesting.
I still have the like hour and a half long rehearsal that we had with him on video. Like, I still have the whole thing, and like sometimes I'll go back and watch the first like 5 minutes of when he like first started talking to us, and yeah, that guy has an extreme amount of just cool dude in him. Like he's so down to earth. He like I don't even think like you said, he realized just how big he is in this industry, you know, and really cool piece. Really enjoyed it.
So you probably have like the first 5 minutes of us also freaking out because we're playing for him and we we thought we hate it.
Man, it's the worst 5 minutes that we played that entire piece. And he's like, "Hey man, we're just here playing notes," and then it immediately got better because we all chilled out. But man,
yeah, he's like, yeah, I like what you guys are doing here. I like the hi-hat thing. And we're like, yeah, we like that too.
Like we did it.
And then he was like, "Can we speed it up a little bit?"
Yeah. Like, let's play it with how it's supposed to be played. Thank you.
Yeah, because AJ was like making us take it real slow, and then he's like, "Yeah, but why is it so slow? Let's take it up." That was a lot of fun.
It was a good time. It really was.
I think that was definitely like one of my most enjoyable experiences at UNA. Just that whole concert with him.
Yeah.
It was really fun.
Do you guys remember when it was the solo piece he did in the middle of that whole like concurrent run of pieces?
We played drum set.
Where he played drum set and just started going off. Like,
Yep.
I didn't see it coming. I really didn't.
I don't think he did either.
We all, I remember, the one part I remember about that is I just remember it being like stupid, ridiculously amazing. And all of us just started looking at each other because none of us can like really believe what's happening right in front of us, as we're all supposed to sit back there and just be quiet because we're still on the stage at this point for people who don't know. And we just like, we all are just looking at each other like mouths wide open, just being like, what the heck is happening right now? Yeah, that was probably my favorite moment of that concert. Besides actually playing extremes, my favorite moment of that concert was watching that dude play drum set and just being blown away the entire time.
Yeah, he was definitely one of my favorite people that have come, like a lot of you all. For me, like another one of my favorites, I kind of put these people in the same boat because they both teach at Broken City and they have the same approach to marching drums. I really liked Roger Carter and Veronica Wicks. I like their whole philosophy about how you can approach marching drums like you would drum set with that fluidity and just like that whole approach. And then like your whole approach to percussion becomes a lot more streamlined as just like, all right, here's your drum set technique. Here is your concert snare technique. Here's your marching drums technique. Like, I think it was just really eye-opening, and just like the conversations that were had with both of them, I thought they were both really cool. Another one of mine, which he used to teach here, but he did a clinic for the what is it? It's not Day of Percussion, the Percussion Symposium.
Yeah, the one that's like
in 2018, spring 2018. Rich Redmond. His faces that he makes while he's playing, they're just really entertaining, and like he just puts so much energy into playing like the simplest beats on the drum set, but like he just makes them sound good, and like you can tell that he's legitimately enjoying himself. And it was a lot of fun like being in that class with him as well. But he's definitely one of my favorites that's been here.
Yeah, that was a fun one.
And he also played on my drum set for that clinic.
That's pretty big.
You should have had him sign it.
You should have. You missed
Then you could have
opportunity
sold
there.
it.
Well, I mean, he basically did all that sweat. Truman hasn't wiped any of it off.
Hey,
It's still
I
there.
haven't played on my set since then because of that.
It's been sitting
Have you really not? Or
No, I have.
I think one of mine, like, it was like a small clinic. It's happened, I think, twice. Was Keith Dudek. And the reason I liked his was I played on both of them, so that made it more fun. But he, like, going back to what Truman said, like he's also one of those ones that talks about how you can bring the approach to drum set to marching percussion, like thinking about how to connect the two and how you would sit, because when you're behind a marching drum, it's all about stay with the time, be on top of it. But when you're in drum set, it's that kind of goes out the window and it becomes feel it, like what's the groove like. If you were trying to portray this, how would you play it? How would your touch change? is I feel like the way that he just talked about mending those two things together has been really beneficial, at least to me playing wise. So that's another good one.
Yeah, that's kind of the trend that I noticed with most master classes that we have, or people that come in. It's less that I learn new things. I just get a very radical or very new perspective on things I already know, and it's always very interesting. Like the Keith Dudek one, I always love it when he comes in. He's
nice.
always such a cool dude.
He's so nice, like unbelievably nice and kind.
Yeah, he's like, hey man, just message me sometime. We'll set something up.
Man,
he
gave me a free T-shirt.
Sound amazing. I've never heard Tom sound like that. Like without being in a recording studio, his toms, I don't know what it is about them. They're probably still ringing from where he played them at UNA right now.
Man. Those things sounded so clean.
I think one of my favorite clinics we had was Jason Baker. You guys remember him?
Oh yeah.
Yeah, it was like one of the smaller clinics we have. Like it was like in midday. It wasn't like a whole weekend, but still, he's the professor at Mississippi State.
Correct? Was that the performance anxiety clinic?
Yes.
Or something
oh
like
yeah,
that?
I remember that one. That was so good.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
And Eric O'Dymo was
awesome.
Flat. That was terrifying playing for, but it was...
yeah.
You guys remember the twin cushion?
I was just about to say that. That was another one of my favorites.
I said it then. I'll say it again. Those two guys playing together is some of the best marimba playing that I've ever seen in my entire life in person. It is unbelievable how like synced they are. It helps when you're twins. It's unbelievable how synced they are, and just like the communication that they can get across to one another while they're jumping across one another physically to play this marimba. It's man, it's crazy to watch. That it puts your own skill into perspective. Like we said last week, it makes you realize how far you got to go, really, to go up the ladder. But man, it is inspiring to see people that are at the top of your field just all the time.
Yeah, like Evelyn Glennie. That was cool.
Yeah, I don't think any of us were here for that. I think that was before our time.
Dang, I'm old. Never mind.
I wish I was here for that. That one sounds like it would have been a lot of fun.
Yeah,
it was.
Okay, so now let's play a little game. Yeah, we're gonna have some fun now. We're gonna have some fun now. So if you had to pick somebody that hasn't been here while you've been here, one person to come do a master class, clinic, or whatever, who would it be, and why?
All right, it's kind of a cheating answer.
You already got it. That's not.
Yeah,
fair.
I already do.
Okay.
It's cheating though. I want Gene Kaczynski. He's
Me
been here to play,
that was mine.
but he hasn't done an actual clinic.
Yeah.
He just did the playing. I think the way Gene can the way he approaches writing and the way he approaches playing, especially, it's so unique. Like him and then Casey Cangelosi. They're kind of the ones that are really pushing a lot of the kind of, I guess you could say, pop culture writing that we see a lot of nowadays. They get shared around everywhere because watch this amazing thing, and they're just playing like as one or something. You know, it is amazing, but we've heard it so many times, and that's something that came from them. I think having Gene would be really cool. That'd be a really fresh perspective that I haven't seen yet, I think.
Yeah, mine was also Gene, but kind of in a different light. I want to have Gene Kaczynski come here and do a percussion composition clinic, because unlike just the way that his compositions work, they just flow so well. Like, it's hard to find, especially in like complicated percussion solo literature, a consistent basis of like everything makes sense in the whole grand scheme of things. You know what I mean? So like everything that I've ever seen that he's written has been, it just had such a nice ebb and flow to it that it was unbelievable. I had another one. So I came up with another one since you stole Gene from me. Oh man, I'll have to come back to it. I really forgot. That's crazy.
I know Pius Chung's been there before, but I would definitely like to see that. All right, and that was a couple years ago. though, right, Logan? Think you were there?
Yeah, that was when I was about to be a major.
Okay, so that was like what 2016,
15.
15.
Hmm.
Okay, yeah. See, I wasn't there then, but I would really like to see him. Big fan of his mallets and all of his pieces.
Kego Wabe. Can't
Yeah,
go wrong.
yeah.
You
I was
can't,
throwing
you
right
can't
now.
go
Get 'em.
wrong. Cannot
Bring
go
'em.
wrong.
Bring them both.
I know what it
Yeah.
was. I found it. I think it'd be kind of cool to have Ivan Trevino come in.
Yeah.
Because I feel like, you know, when you really think about whose pieces do we hear get played the most?
Ivan Trevino.
Yeah,
He's the Michael Jackson of the
He
percussion world.
really is. Like everything he puts out, it's just everyone plays it, you know. And it'd be really cool to get his insight, you know, of like how he comes up with things. And then obviously he's a phenomenal player as well. Like the fact that he can play marimba and sing at such a confident level is like insane.
Have you seen his songbook Volume 3?
I have not seen Volume 3. I've seen at least one performance of like Volume 1 and Volume 2.
Volume 3 is the one that I think you'd be interested in. It's actually percussion with winds. It's a very
Okay.
interesting. It's like a little chamber setting type thing. It's really cool.
I'm here for
I
it.
would love to hear how he. I'd love to hear him talk about how he wrote that.
Yeah. Just from personal experience, I found it very hard to write small ensembles with percussion and winds. At least for my little pea brain, it's pretty difficult. But I imagine for somebody who's like actually smart and knows what they're doing, it's not that hard. But
I'd like to see Matt Gardska do a clinic.
Oh man,
He was one of the people that I was going back and forth with.
I don't even know if I want a clinic from him. I think I just want to sit there and watch him play for an hour.
Yeah, that's
Like,
what I
he,
really
like,
meant.
like he doesn't
Clinic.
have he doesn't have to talk. He can just sit there and play for an hour, and I'll be totally cool with it.
Since you said that, Caleb, I've been going back and forth between like a bunch of people, and Matt Garska was one of the people, but like I can't decide between these two people. One of them would be Mike Jackson. I would want him to come in and just let us pick his brain on one, like how he comes up with show concepts, because at least for like Broken City, his writing style for them as well, and just the whole design for those shows, because like those shows are like so open-ended and like they're up for interpretation by the audience member, as opposed to like, here's our show, here's what it means, and this is like exactly what it is, now give us a score. But instead it's like, here's a concept that we're putting into a show, but you can take from it what you want and then interpret it your own way, and you can apply it to like whatever you want to. And I just think that that's really interesting. And then the other person would be Todd Zuckerman, who is the drum set player for Styx right now. He's just one of the most musical drum set players that I've ever seen, and he has chops, and he's just like really good. Kyle Blair would agree with me on that. He's one of his favorite drummers too, I think. But like when he plays drum parts, even like if he's playing rock, like they're simple but they're musical, and that makes it like really fun to listen to.
Yeah.
And so, and I hear he gives like really good clinics, and he's put out some really good educational DVDs. So it'd be really cool to see him have a clinic here.
I'd kind of like, I would kind of like to see, like going back to Mike Jackson and about Broken City's shows, is it's extremely hard to come up with a concept that can be applied to everyone, and everyone can have a different meaning and then do it well. And the fact that they do it well every single year, at least for the past 3 or 4 years, is
And then
extremely
you
impressive.
also win with that, and then
Yeah.
break the record.
It's crazy. It's insane.
I would like to see Glenn Velez do a clinic.
I was gonna say that.
You stole Logan's. Yeah, Glenn
I was
Velez would
waiting.
be amazing. It'd be
I want to see
so-
Chris Lamb just to see Chris Lamb.
Yeah, I want to see Chris Lamb too. I
Didn't
really
we see
want.
him, Jake?
Didn't we?
Did y'all see him at that?
No, we
Yamaha
saw him at
thing?
Music for All
Yeah.
Yeah, that's right.
because we chilled in that room with him for like 30 minutes while he warmed up.
No. That was
That was Jeff Queen. Never mind.
Jeff Queen. Yeah, that wasn't Chris Lamb. No.
Hey, Jeff Queen would be cool too, though.
Yeah.
I really want Bill Bachman for like
Ooh.
30 minutes. Is all I need, man. He's actually fun little quip here. He's the one who's grading the tenor audition videos this year, which was the reason why I filmed eights 25 times. Because my videos are going to be put in front of him, which is extremely nerve-wracking for me, at least. But yeah, he like put the quad playing aside, like just from a entrepreneurship design perspective, like when you look at quad pads, right? Like obviously you have every company that makes their own, and this is personal opinion, by the way. The Vic Firth heavy hitter series, which he developed, basically is like almost a universal quad pad at this point. Like you don't get better than that. Like the only thing that I wish it had was actual rims, which is what Zymox does, and I think Zymox pad works very well. But just like I have never played a quad pad that feels as good as a Vic Firth heavy hitter quad pad feels. So I would love to talk to him about how he came up with that and like why it can't be replicated at the same level. But he'd be cool.
Yeah, kind of on the same lines. Like talking about Vic Firth, I think it'd be really cool to get like Yamaha and Innovative, Vic Firth, like the big wigs, and like talk to them about like how they go out, see who they're gonna sponsor, see like what groups they want to sponsor,
like talent scouts almost.
Yeah, like I would love to hear about that. Kind of hear the business side of things.
Yeah, because I think that's the one thing that's like kind of like you don't know until you know. Like you have no idea how it all works until you're in it.
Mm-hmm.
Like,
or you know somebody that's already in.
Right.
You know.
And I've heard just from talking to some people that like there's people who are guests who are like sponsored artists who the only reason they're sponsored artists is because they sent an email out. It was like, hey, I'd love to like be a sponsor for you guys, and they were like, well, we weren't thinking about it, but why not? Let's do it. And so now they have their own sticks and all that. So I think it's like it's halfway you market yourself to these companies, and halfway who do you know that can be like, hey, this guy's a cool guy, you should really sponsor him. So
yeah, you watching this, Wiggins?
Yeah. Listen, I need it, okay? But yeah, I think honestly Dr. Wiggins would be a great. I know we get classes from him all the time, but if I wasn't at UNA, he'd be a really cool master class just to talk about the business side of things, because he knows everything.
Yeah.
So it's
literally everything.
Like literally.
If we're talking about business things as well, it'd be cool to get like the people over Percussive Arts Society as well. That'd be pretty cool.
I'd like to sit in on one of their Zoom board meetings.
Yeah, or the people over like BOA, DCI, and WGI. That'd be cool as well.
Ooh, I think Shane Gwaltney would be amazing.
What a man,
dude.
The beard.
He's bald with the beard. It's a look. It's hard to pull that off, and man, he does it. I'm gonna tell you. Yeah. I think there's a lot of guest artists that I'd like to see, and I don't know if I can name them all right now, but man, I just want to see everybody.
Yeah, I didn't even name some of my Balron people I would like to see have a master class.
See, that's the field I know nothing about. Like I know nothing about it, but man, it's such a cool instrument. Man, it's neat. I love it.
I didn't name any of the gospel drummers that I want to see just shed.
Are there any non-percussionists that you like to see that would still kind of apply to the area?
Yo-Yo Ma.
Yeah.
Yo-Yo Ma's a good one. The entire band of Snarky Puppy. Literally all of them. On North Auditorium's Echoey.
Yeah, I was just about to say Snarky Puppy. Because, man, it's hard to get that many musicians to play together like that.
Mm-hmm.
And, God, they do it so well. I'd like to see Adam Neely. Adam Neely is a guy that I'd love to talk to for a while because his grasp of just, like, extremely far out there musical concepts and how he applies them to, like, just general jazz studies is kind of it's really cool. It's a really cool thing to watch his videos.
I would like to see Dirty Loops do kind of the same thing. I don't know if you guys have ever heard of Dirty Loops.
Yeah.
Man.
This isn't anyone specific, but I think getting like a bunch of like Broadway writers in.
Oh, yeah.
I think that'd be cool.
Well, because the thing about Broadway is people who don't understand the musical aspect are like, oh, the songs all sound the same. And I think what's cool about Broadway is while there's a lot of similarities in how they have to write, you can easily point out like specific styles and like different quirks that each composer has that writes these books. And it's because it's hard to write within a genre and make it your own. And I think that's the cool thing about high level Broadway productions is they all make it their own when they write these books.
Mm-hmm.
I just like to see how they do that.
We can probably get Lin-Manuel Miranda easy.
Yeah.
Wiggins probably knows him or
No
knows a guy or
problem.
knows a guy that knows
We'll
a guy.
message Wiggins and within 30 minutes we'll start a podcast. Easy. Easy. No, it probably wouldn't be that easy, but hopefully that's the dream of things. Anything else you guys want to talk about? You guys got anything? I got through my whole list here.
I miss seeing all your faces face to face.
Yeah. I miss seeing you guys, an actual person, and not seeing just like a torso. It's weird, man. It's weird times we're in. What did everybody have for dinner tonight? What did everybody eat?
I made my own hamburger with my own bun.
You have been in the kitchen recently, Logan. You have been cooking up feasts. Now I want to know, okay, as someone who really enjoys to cook myself, how often are you going to the grocery store?
Not that often.
Really?
Yes, you got to find the deals.
I feel that.
Got to find the deals.
So that's the problem. Is like you plan for one dish, right? You make it, and then you're like, okay, but now I want to try and make this, and you're like, oh crap, I have nothing I need for this, and I'm trying to make it today. I gotta go. So you go to the store like 3-4 times a week. But I guess that would be solved if you just planned a little bit.
Yeah, like I buy a full pork loin, so I have the sirloin, the chop cut, and the rib. And so it's like that's 3 separate meals right there in one.
Absolutely. What'd you have for dinner today, Jake?
I had my mama made meatloaf. It was good.
Dude, meatloaf sounds so good. I love meatloaf. What about you, Truman? What did you have today?
Katie Brooke made this shredded barbecue chicken in a crock pot. It was very good.
There's nothing I love more than a good crock pot meal.
Crock pot meals are always good.
Crock pot meals are always good. I had chili today. Man, it was good chili. My mom made some fantastic crock pot chili. Yeah, I think that's gonna wrap it up for episode 2 of the UNA Percussion podcast. We don't know if we're gonna do this week to week over the summer. It's a little hard because not too much is going on since we're not in school. But thank you for watching. If you haven't watched the first episode, go do that. Had a lot of good conversations there, and it was fun. So everybody say bye.
Bye.
Bye.